Change the approach. No apology required. The evidence changed. The adaptation doesn't require the apology to the previous. The change of the approach in the face of the devious. New evidence isn't the confession of the wrong. It's the update of the operating system, the alarm. The way refinement of the buildings for the better. Adapt without apology, the changing of the setter. Of the approach is the discipline of the informed. Adapt without apology, the evidence confirmed. I used to apologize for every update to the previous approach. Adapt without apology. The change is not the reproach. Adapt without apology, the evidence moved. Adapt without apology, the better was proved by the data and the testing and the outcome and the real. Adapt without apology, the update is the deal, not the failure, the refinement. Adapt without apology, that's the alignment. The adaptation implies the previous was a mistake. The previous was the best available. Previous evidence suggested the adaptation is the best available. Current evidence applied the test of the new information. Adapt without apology is the most honest relationship with the methodology of the building update. When the update is the better. Adapt without apology, that's the letter. I used to apologize for every update to the previous approach. Adapt without apology. Not the reproach. Adapt without apology, the evidence moved. Adapt without apology, the better was proved by the data and the testing and the outcome and the real. Adapt without apology, the update is the deal, not the failure, the refinement. Adapt without apology, that's the alignment. The flexible returns. Bend, don't break. The tree that won't bend and the storm breaks at the trunk. The tree that bends comes back up upright when the storm is sunk into the past. The architecture that allows the flex is the architecture that survives the complex stress of the not anticipated, the sudden and the hard. The rigid snaps at the point the rigid can't discard. The absorb force, bend, don't break is the engineering of the resilient. The adapt is the persevering. I used to hold the rigid like the rigid was a strong. Bend, don't break. The flexible is right all along. Bend, don't break. The flex is not the failure. Bend, don't break. The flex is the adapter that returns to the original when the storm has passed through. Bend, don't break. The flex is what is traced, not the rigid. Bend, don't break. That's the rigid's limit. The rigid looks like strength until the load exceeds the rigid's threshold, and the rigid breaks and leaves the structural integrity in the catastrophic way. The flexible bends deeply and returns the same day to the upright. The bend is the sophisticated structural response to the stress. The rigid's faded to the break when the load goes past the held limit. Bend, don't break. The flexible is in it. I used to hold the rigid like the rigid 17 times. Found the wall, didn't move and found the 17 climbs. Produced the same result at the same point of the start. Changed the angle on the 18th and the wall gave up its resistance at a different point. The same destination, reached by a different approach. The adaptation of the angle is not the abandonment of the goal. Change the angle, keep the destination whole. I used to hit the same wall from the same angle, calling it persist. Change the angle, the destination and the wall still exists. Change the angle, same destination, different approach. Change the angle, the wall has a vulnerable edge to encroach upon if the entry point changes from the previous. Change the angle, the adaptation is the genius of the method, not the goal. The water doesn't argue with the rock, the water finds the angle that the rock allows the water unwinds around the resistance with the patience of the eventual. The water finds the angle and the water's consensual with the terrain specific openings. Change the angle is the water's entire methodology. The angle of the direct approach replaced by the indirect arrival. Change the angle, that's the adaptation survival. I used to hit the same wall from the same angle, calling it persist. Change the angle, the destination in the wall still exists. Change the angle, same destination, different approach. Change the angle, the wall has a vulnerable edge to encroach upon if the entry point changes from the previous. Change the angle, the adaptation is the genius of the method, not the goal. Destinations hold. Change the angle, same destination, different entry. The method earns the right to change. The method is not the mission, the method is the current best available approach to the mission. The deterrent to confusing the two is the awareness that the method can improve without the mission being threatened by the change. Evolve the method when the evidence is better exists. The mission is the permanent, the letter of the law. The method is the implementation. Evolve the method, keep the mission's foundation. I used to treat the method like the mission's equal in the whole. Evolve the method, the mission stays. The method gets retold. Evolve the method, the approach can always improve. Evolve the method, the mission stays in the groove of the original direction and the fundamental why. Evolve the method, let the how learn to fly higher than the previous. Evolve the method, that's the serious. The rigidity that confuses the method for the mission stops the evolution at the current implementation's decision made when the evidence was thinner and the options were the current best available. What's available now is the deterrent to stay in with the method past its use by. Evolve the how, keep the why, that's the discipline and the vow of the adapt without losing the core of what I'm building. Evolve the method, the mission is the gilding. Treat the method like the mission's equal in the whole. Evolve the method, the mission stays. The method gets retold. Evolve the method, the approach progression landed sharp. Flex toward the new configuration to hold the part of the standard that makes me who I am regardless. The answer isn't always the same. The hardest part of the whole campaign is the reading of the moment. Was this a flex situation or a hold component of the discipline? Flex or hold, decided wrong, builds the wrong version. Either way, alone. I used to default to hold when flex was the wiser. Flex or hold, the distinction is the discipline. I need flex or hold, the question before the response. Flex or hold, the reading of the ones in the wild terrain change that demands the honest call. Flex or hold, not the same answer for them all. Some terrain wants the flex. Some terrain wants the health complex. Learn the tales of the flex situation versus the hold. Learn the terrain that rewards the new and the bold. Adaptation versus the terrain that rewards the unchanged core of the standard held despite the rearranged environment. Flex on the method when the method can improve. Hold on the principle when the principle's the groove that the building runs on. Flex or hold is the art of the adaptation without losing the heart. I used to default to hold when flex was the wiser. Flex or hold, the distinction is the discipline. I need flex or hold, the question before the response. Flex or hold, the reading of the ones in the wild terrain change that demands the honest call. Flex or hold, not the same answer for them all. Some terrain wants the flex. Some terrain wants the health complex. Flex hard. Hold. Read the terrain. First. The map changed, the compass didn't navigate accordingly. Every season brings a map that doesn't match the previous. The terrain reshuffles and the routes become the devious mix of the old and the new and the never been before. The map changes and the navigation needs a different door into the finding of the route, but the compass in the chest stays fixed on the direction that the course suggests. It's true, the map adapts, the compass holds. That's the distinction. New map, same compass. That's the adaptation's function. I used to change the compass when the map changed underneath. New map, same compass. The adaptation's underneath. New map, same compass. The terrain shifts, but the north stays. New map, same compass. The route adjusts, but the north pays. The same direction to the navigation as before. New map, same compass. Adapt the how, not the core. The map is the method. New map, same compass. The compass is the tether. Watch the ones who change the compass with the map arrive at destinations that was someone else's didn't survive. The recognition in the mirror of who they'd become, and the adaptation changed the core and came home to a stranger's north. I changed the map with every season, changed the route, changed the method, changed the reason for the particular approach, but not the fundamental. New map, same compass, that's the incremental. I used to change the compass when the map changed underneath. New map, same compass. Not every wall is meant to be broken through. Some walls redirect. Know the difference. Hit the wall and read it honestly before the move. Is the continue or the redirect into a different groove? The wall, that's the constraint of the wrong approach. Wants the pivot, wants the reroute, wants the coach of experience to say, try a different angle in the wall. That's the discomfort of the discipline. Wants to persist, wants to push through, wants to stay, pivot or persist. Reading the wall is the only way. I used to persist through walls that were redirecting me. Pivot or persist. The wall is reading the decree. Pivot or persist. The wall has information. Pivot or persist. The wall's the navigation. Signal telling which direction needs the update. Pivot or persist. The wall decides the mandate of the next move. Rewrite. Pivot or persist. That's the insight. That's the insight. The persist to the wrong wall is the most expensive. The persist that confuses principle with the defensive. Holding of the method that the evidence has changed. Persist on the principle, pivot on the range of the approach within the principle. That's the key. Pivot or persist is the most important read of the wall's message in the building of the long game. Pivot or persist, they're not the same. I used to persist through walls that were redirecting me. Pivot or persist. The wall is reading the decree. Pivot or persist. The wall has information. Pivot or persist. The wall's the navigation. Signal telling which direction needs the update. Pivot or persist. The wall decides the mandate of the next move. Read it right. Pivot or persist. That's the insight. Pivot or persist. Read the wall first. Same approach in every room. It isn't a standard, it's a limitation. The room has a frequency that the room is running at. The room has a configuration and a specific stat of the what it needs from the person entering the space. Read the room before the approach, before the place is occupied by the one-size version of the self that works in some rooms and another sits the shelf of the inappropriate. Reading the room is the adapt of the how without the loose of the core intact. I used to bring the same approach to every room I entered. Read the room. The adaptation is the center. Read the room. The room is telling what it needs. Read the room. The adaptation leads to the version of the approach that stirs the actual space. Read the room. The same core, every place. Different expression. Read the room. That's the lesson. The chameleon reads the room and loses who they are. The discipline adapts to how while keeping the North Star of the who. Reading the room is the technical intelligence of the adapt, not the surrender of the resilience of the core to the preference of the room. I read the room to find the version of the approach that I need to deploy that serves the room without costing the real. Read the room, that's the adaptation still. Same approach to every room I entered. Read the room. The adaptation is the center. The old version worked. The new evidence says better exists. Take the upgrade. The old approach had years of validation in the run. The old approach had produced the outcomes and the done of a certain level. And the attachment to the old was built on the legitimate return it gave the goal. Standard of the working and the new evidence arrived and said the ceiling of the old approach had been derived from the limit of the method, not the limit of the capable. Take the upgrade, the adaptation is the able. I used to hold the old approach because it had the history. The upgrade requires releasing the working. That's the mystery. Take the upgrade, even when the old still works. Take the upgrade. The better is the better's per. Over the good enough that history confirms. Take the upgrade. The adaptation is the learn. Humility a better over comfortable. Take the upgrade. That's the accountable. The hardest upgrade is the one where the old still functions. The easy upgrade replaces the broken. The junctions of the working and the better are the hardest ones to cross, because the working feels like enough and the cost of the upgrade is the disruption of the functional. The upgrade of the working is the most intentional. Adaptation move requires choosing the better over the good. Take the upgrade, that's what the adaptation should. I used to hold the old approach because it had the history. The upgrade requires releasing the working. That's the mystery. Take the upgrade, even when the old still works. Take the upgrade. The better is the better's per. Over the good enough that history confirms. Take the upgrade. The adaptation is the learn. Humility a better over comfortable. Take the upgrade. That's the accountable. Take the upgrade. Better access move. To act.
Water adapts to every container. Rock holds its shape in every current. Need both.
Water finds a path that's available and moves. Water doesn't argue with the terrain, water proves the shape of every vessel by conforming to the inside. Water is the ultimate adapter on the ride through any landscape. Rock is the opposite extreme. Rock holds its shape against the current in the stream of the everything surrounding. Rock says, I stay. Water and rock, I need both in the same day. I used to think the adapt and the hold were in opposition. Water and rock, the both at once is the position. Water and rock, fluid where the fluid serves. Water and rock, solid where the solid preserves the thing worth keeping from the current's pull. Water and rock, the adaptation's full. Picture needs them both. Water and rock, that's victory nor defeat. Daring greatly. The timid soul knows neither victory nor defeat's claim. The timid soul lives in the safety of the never in the game. Never knows the specific flavor of the public fall. Never knows the specific triumph of the answered call. Gives the odds with witnesses and outcome on the line. The timid soul is safe and the safety has a fine print that says you'll never know what you're actually made of. Daring greatly, that's the arena and the trade-off. I used to think the safety of the never tried was wise. Daring greatly, the arena is the prize. Daring greatly, the face mud, the sweat real. Daring greatly, the outcome and the ordeal of the actually tried and the actual stakes. Daring greatly, the arena that it takes. Everything in gives the knowing. Daring greatly, that's the going. The arena gives back with no other environment returns. The specific self-knowledge that the actually tried earns. Through the doing in the open with the consequence in play. Daring greatly is the only honest way to find out what the person in the quiet claims to be. Is accurate, is real, is the actual me, or the comfortable self-description of the untested. Daring greatly, the arena is the invested. I used to think the safety of the never tried was wise. Daring greatly, the arena is the prize. Daring greatly, the face mud, the sweat real. Daring greatly, the outcome and the ordeal of the actually tried and the actual stakes. Daring greatly, the arena that it takes. Everything in gives the knowing. Daring greatly, that's the going. Daring greatly, face march still going arena. Not so much. All of it. Not the parts that were convenient to own. All of it. Not the wins that I could clearly claim. All of it, including the outcomes that arrive from someone else's action. Including the circumstances that appear without traction. From my choices, if it's in my life, it's in my column. If it landed on my watch, the ownership is solemn. Incomplete extreme ownership doesn't carve out exceptions. Doesn't build a caveat around the inconvenient sections. I used to own the wins and share the losses with the room. Extreme ownership, all of it. No exit, no cost, no. Extreme ownership, I take the whole account. Not the selective version, not the comfortable amount. Every outcome in my life has my name at the top. Extreme ownership. over the situation. Found the missing hours of authority, lived in the exceptions I carved out. Found every caveat I built was just the doubt, wrapped up in a reasonable sounding boundary line. Extreme ownership removes the boundary, makes it mine completely, and without the carved out place to hide. Extreme ownership, I take the whole ride. I used to own the wins and share the losses with the room. Extreme ownership, all of it. No exit, no cost, no. Extreme ownership, I take the whole account, not the selective version, not the comfortable amount. Every outcome in my life has my name at the top. Extreme ownership, the partial version has to stop. All of it, the whole ledger. Extreme ownership, no exit. Didn't come here for the easy. Came here to find out what holds. Yeah, when the difficulty arrives, I remind myself the reason I chose the path that leads through hard terrain in every season. I came here to be tested, not to move through unchallenged air. I came here to find out what's inside, to find out what's there. When the finding now requires something of the reserve I didn't know I had. When the test arrives to serve the proving grounds, honest function, I remind myself I chose. I came here to be tested, that's the proving grounds pro. I used to treat the test like an intrusion on the plan. I came here to be tested. The test confirms the man. I came here to be tested, not to cruise through unexamined. I came here to be tested, not to leave the question unanswered of what I'm actually made of when the making has a cost. I came here to be tested. I came here for the frost and the fire and the proving. I came here to be tested. I'm moving. Change the relationship with difficulty, have to reframe. The difficulty isn't visiting, the difficulty came because I walked into the room that holds it. I signed up for the terrain that has the difficult inside the cup. I'm drinking from the test, is not the uninvited guest. The test is the whole point of being here. I came here for the test to show me what's confirmed and what requires a further build. I came here to be tested, I came here to be filled. I used to treat the test like an intrusion on the plan. I came here to be tested. The test confirms the man. I came here to be tested, not to cruise through unexamined. I came here to be tested, not to leave the question unanswered of what I'm actually made of when the making has a cost. I came here to be tested. I came here for the frost urgency in every single thing I touch. Used to rush the rep, rush the red, rush the building just as much as I could stand. Like the arrival had a closing time, like the version I was building was expiring past the line that I was always slightly late for, always slightly behind. Ran myself into the ground for a deadline in my mind that didn't actually exist. The destination doesn't leave, I'm not in a hurry anymore, because I finally believe I was running like the thing I'm building had a sell by day. I'm not in a hurry anymore. The long game doesn't operate. I'm not in a hurry anymore. The long game has no clock, not the quarter, not the year, not the trending talk that says you're falling behind some imaginary pace. I'm not in a hurry anymore. I'm building at my place. No deadline, no expiry, just the work and the long game's inquiry. Slowed the pace down and the quality of the work went up. Slowed the pace down and found the depth inside the cup that the rushing had been skipping every time I pushed too fast. Slowed the pace down and found the long game built to last. More than the sprinted version, more than the urgency produced. The unhurried work has a different texture when it's loose from the artificial timeline of the anxious and the rushed. I'm not in a hurry anymore. The long game can be put. I was running like the thing I'm building had a sell by day. I'm not in a hurry anymore. The long game doesn't operate. I'm not in a hurry anymore. The long game has no clock, not the quarter, not the year, not the trending talk that says you're falling behind some imaginary pace. I'm not in a hurry anymore. I'm building at my place. No deadline, no expiry, just the work and the long game's inquiry. Not in a hurry, long game wrong. There's a point in every session where most people stop. That's my starting point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can feel the point where the comfortable calls the session done. Can feel the invisible consensus that the work's been run to a satisfactory conclusion, that the reasonable has been delivered, that the more is not the seasonable thing to ask. Most people stop here at the reasonable done. The uncommon standard starting line is where the common one draws its finish. The most people stop is where I begin. The most important work that makes the uncommon discipline. I used to hear the most people stop as the signal to conclude. Most people stop here is the uncommon standards latitude. Most people stop here, that's where I keep going. Most people stop here, that's the uncommon showing of the standard that I set above the good enough. Most people stop here, past here is the tough and honest work that separates the year. Most people stop here, I'm still here. I'm still here. But the most people stop here is a calibration gift. It tells me exactly where the standard needs to lift above the average of the reasonable and done. The most people stop here is the uncommon's good. Shot at the starting line of the additional standard built. Everything the uncommon builds past the common is the tills. Away from the average and toward the real top. Most people stop here, I haven't stopped. I used to hear the most people stop as the signal to conclude. Most people stop before I saw the next one rising. On top for half a second, called it victory, called it done. Looked up and saw a bigger mountain standing in the sun. Used to think the celebration was supposed to last a while. Found out the only thing it's good for is a single mile. Then it's back to climbing, back to packing up the gear, cause the next mountain doesn't wait around for me to cheer. I felt the satisfaction for a heartbeat, maybe two. Then the hunger kicked back in and said there's more to do. I used to want the summit to be where the story ends. Now I see it's just the start of the next ascent again. Next mountain already loading. Before I've caught my breath, every summit that I conquer just reveals a bigger crest. I don't rest too long at the top. I don't let the fire die. Next mountain already loading, and I'm ready to climb. No finish, no final peak, just the next ridge underneath my fight. Watch the ones who stay too long up on the mountain that they won. Watch the fire that drove them up that flicker, fade and run. I don't let the wind get heavy, don't let comfort set its hooks, cause the moment I get settled is the moment that it cooks. The complacency, the softness, the forgetting why I climb. So I keep my eyes up at the next peak, keep the hunger primed. Every victory's a starting gun for one more race to run. Next mountain already loading before this one's even done. I used to want the summit to be where the story ends, and now I see it's just the start of the next ascent again. Next mountain already loading. Before I've caught my breath, every summit that I conquer just reveals a bigger crest. I don't rest too long at the top. I don't let the fire die. Next mountain already loading, and I'm ready to climb. No finish, no final peak, just the next ridge underneath my fate. Next mountain already loading. Empty room, no crowd, no cameras, no excuse left standing. Used to say my best for when the room was full and watching. Save the heavy lifting for the days the crowd was clapping. But the empty room don't lie, shows you who you really are. When there's no applause to chase, no weakness and no co-star. Found out discipline's the thing you do when nobody's around. Found out all my best excuses lived inside an empty sound. So I started training like the room is always full. Built the habit when there's nothing watching, nothing pulled. No one's checking if I show, no one's counting if I quit. But I'm checking, I'm counting, I'm the only witness to it. Nobody's watching, I still the version of themselves they chase. I found mine in the silence of an empty locked up space. No lights, no cameras, no one keeping track of every rep. Just me and the work and the choice I make before I step. That's where the real one lives, not in the moments people see. In the quiet hours nobody knows about but me. So I keep on showing up when there's no reason left to perform. This is where the discipline gets built, this is where it's born. No one's checking if I show, no one's counting if I quit. But I'm checking, I'm counting, I'm the only witness to it. Nobody's watching, I still show. Build it quiet when there's no one keeping score. This is for the version only I will ever know. Nobody's watching, I still go. Every empty room becomes a battleground I chose. This is mine alone. Nobody's watching, I still your name on my scoreboard is the one I used to be. Stop checking what the others live, stop checking what they run. Found a better measuring stick in the man I was, not someone. He's the only one who knows exactly what it costs to climb. The only one who watched me build this from the very first time. Every rep I'm doing now is a message back to him, telling him the version that he doubted isn't dim. He's not my enemy, he's my foundation and my proof that the work compounds in silence, slow and steady, never lose. I used to measure by the room, by the noise, by who's ahead. Now I measure by the distance traveled in my own head. Past me is the only rival, only race I run. Every day's a rematch with the man I was, not someone else's son. I don't need a crowd to prove it, don't need a number from a chart. I just need to beat the version. Stand after. Toward a moment I could share. Every rep was half a rep, cause half was for the stare. Started noticing the quality of work done for the feed versus what I built at midnight when there's nobody to see. The difference was significant enough to change the whole approach. Stopped performing for the audience and started being the coach of myself in private. No announcement, no receipt. Process over applause, that's the foundation underneath. I was building for the moment when the room would turn and see. Now I build it for the process, cause the process builds me. Process over applause, the work before the roll. Every rep I do in private is the one that moves the pro. Not performing, not announcing, just the actual work. Process over applause, that's what the real ones learn. No receipt, no validation, just the work and its creation. Now the work sessions feel different when there's nothing being filmed. No performance in the corner of my eye, just being filled with the actual task, the actual rep, the actual word. Just the work in its own logic and the truth that it has stirs. Found out fast the work on private builds a different thing than the work done with the audience already in the ring. Process over applause means loving what the process does before the product's ready and before the room applauds. Building for the moment when the room will turn and see. Now I build it for the process, cause the process builds me.